Hi everyone, welcome to US Immigration Help channel. In today's video, we are going to talk about how to calculate I-864 household size for petitioner and the joint sponsor with and without children. If you are new to this channel, my name is Sliman and I make videos for a family-based immigration to simplify the immigration process and give you a confidence to go through your immigration journey by yourself. First of all, I am not an immigration attorney. I'm here to help you based on the information I have from US CIS website. If you find this video very helpful, please subscribe, share, hit notification bell, and give us a big like so YouTube can share the video with more people. So if you're ready, let's get started. Let's go to the form I-864, part 1, basis for filing affidavit of support. But before we do that, let's talk about the first case, which is calculate the household size for a petitioner without children. Means just the petitioner and the applicant. Now let's go to our form for the basis for filing affidavit of support. It's going to be item 1A. I am the petitioner filing, I filed or I am filing for the immigration of my relatives. Now let's go to part 5. This is the household size. But before we do that, let's go to part 2, I think. It's about the applicant. Part 4, I'm sorry. Part 4, information about the immigrant you are sponsoring. I am sponsoring the principal immigrant named in part 3. Yes. So basically, you are sponsoring only the applicant. Now, let's go to household size, which is part 5. This one right here will automatically populated from part 3. That's the applicant. But they tell you right here, enter the total number of immigrants you are sponsoring on this affidavit, which includes the principal immigrant listed in part 3, any immigrants listed in part 4, item numbers 4 to 7, and any additional sponsored immigrants you listed in part 11, additional information. Do not count the principal immigrant if you are only sponsoring family members entering more than 6 months after the principal immigrant. So this one automatically will be populated from part 3, which is for the principal immigrant. This is what keeps confusing right here. Persons not sponsored in this affidavit, yourself, that's the petitioner. As I mentioned, this the first case is going to be the petitioner without children. So 1 is yourself. Since you don't have no children, this all be left blank. So the household size is going to be 2, the principal applicant and the petitioner. Now let's go to the next case, which is petitioner with children. So same thing for the basis of our filing is going to be excuse me. For the basis for filing affidavit of support is going to be the same. Item number 1A. I am the petitioner. I filed or I am filing for the immigration of my relatives. Now we're going to go to part 3, which is information about the principal immigrant. Now here, instead, I am sponsoring the principal immigrant named in part 3. Yes, here I'm going to check this one right here. I am sponsoring the following family member immigrating at the same time or within 6 months of the principal immigrant named in part 3. List family members in item numbers 4 to 7. Do not include any relative listed in a separate visa petition. So here we're going to add family members. We're going to go first one right here. For example, you're gonna add it right here. That's your child. The relationship to the principal immigrant, you're gonna put right here a child. You put date of birth, alien registration number if he has one. If he does not have one, leave it blank. So we're gonna, you know, for this example, you're gonna do only one child. If you add the child right here. Now let's go to part 5. Now here will be 2 instead. So the household side now will be 3. Principal applicant and 1 child. That's 3. It's still gonna include yourself. Here, this is, I'm sorry, I didn't talk about this one, but let's talk about it now. If you are currently married, enter 1 for your spouse. Note, enter 0 if you already counted your spouse in item number 1. So in item, we already counted spouse in item number 1 because the spouse is a principal applicant in this case. So now the household size is going to be 3. Let's recap right here because it is confusing. If your spouse is a principal applicant, this one right here, item number 3 right here, put 0 because it's already included in item number 1. That's where a lot of people make a mistake. They double count the spouse. They put it right here as a principal immigrant, and they put it right here because they say that right here enter 1 if you are married. So if your spouse is a principal immigrant, this one does not apply for you right here for a petitioner. Now let's switch gears now to calculate the household size for joint sponsor without children. So just the joint sponsor, spouse, and the principal applicant. Let's go back to our form. Let's go to page number 1. So this time we're gonna be I am is option item 1D. I am the only joint sponsor. Now let's go to part 5. So now this one here is going to be changed to 1. This joint sponsor is going to sponsor the principal applicant in the part 3. He's going to sponsor himself or herself. Number 2. Now this question right here, number 3, is going to apply for joint sponsor. If you are currently married, enter 1. Now you must enter 1 here for the joint sponsor because the joint sponsor is married. And the principal applicant, the spouse right here in the principal applicant is not the spouse for joint sponsor. The principal applicant is the spouse of the petitioner. So here the household size will be 3. The principal applicant, which is the one you're sponsoring, yourself, and the spouse of the joint sponsor. Now let's talk about how to calculate the household size for joint sponsor with children. Here, 1 in item number 1 is gonna stay 1 because it's the principal applicant. Number 2 is gonna stay 1 is yourself. Number 3, you are married. Now, if you have dependent children, enter the number here. So you must enter 1 right here for children that you have, the number of children you have. Just for this example, we are doing just 1. So here, the household size now changes to 4. So the principal applicant, yourself, your spouse for the joint sponsor, and children of joint sponsor. So as you can see, the household size now is 4. So this is the end of this video. I hope you like it. If you do, please subscribe, share, hit notification bell. Thank you, and see you next video.